Well, good morning Facebook, good morning Instagram. How are we doing? Happy Friday. Good morning YouTube. We are now live on Facebook, YouTube and Instagram. So I'm going to try and make sure I give everyone equal attention. But yeah, bear with me. I hope you're well. I'm a few minutes late. Technical problems. But hey ho, we're here. And I'm ready with my coffee for the day. So I just wanted to jump on, as I said, in our feed, I wanted to chat to you today about working from home, how to stay effective, and giving us some tips. It's a bit of a challenging time for me. It's been 5 weeks at home now, and I actually have had experience working from home for the job that I do for quite a while now, but even in part-time, so it's definitely an adjustment even for myself who's used to working from home. So I just thought that it might be useful today to go over some of my tips and from my experience, and if you have any questions then pop them in the chat. I would love to hear your thoughts on how you're doing, and we will get started. So I'm jumping on today, just myself, excited to share. So I'll get into the tips that I wanted to share, and then if you have a comment, if you have any questions, then make sure you drop them in the comment section, or drop me a DM later and I'll be happy to help. First point of the day, find space. As you can see, I'm sitting on a desk. Well, you can't actually see, but I'm at a desk right now. I've been fortunate enough to have a little desk space here. I invested in a desk from IKEA years ago, and it is the one staple thing that comes with me wherever I go. So I highly recommend investing in a desk. And I'll just get some. And so I would say find a space is one of my top tips. Make sure it's somewhere that you feel comfortable, and whether that is, even, to be honest, before I had a desk, there was times where I would use an iron board and I would have it sitting up at the edge of the couch or the bedroom if I was in a shared house. And yeah, just find a space, whether it's at the kitchen table, find a space that you could feel inspired, or remove distractions but feel comfortable enough to just sit down and get some work done, if that's at all possible. I fully appreciate that many of us are juggling families and different caring responsibilities. I'm coming at it from a young professional, navigating working from home through quarantine. So I hope that's my first point, is try to find a place and a space that you can go to, because I think it's important. Just like you go to work, you also need to be able to come home, and that is a challenge right now for a lot of us. I know I just would encourage us, if you can, find a space. And if you're perhaps furloughed or not working, it's still worth looking to maybe find a space to a reading nook to sit down in the morning where you have your coffee or your breakfast, or have that space. I think it's about making the most of the space that we have and trying to find variety in that, which can be quite challenging. But this is just a few thoughts that I'm hoping will help you get stay motivated, feel effective at home. And number 2 is set your alarm. So a few weeks in now, and I'm finding the best days that I have are ones where I set an alarm, I get up at a set time like I would if I was going into an office or going out to work, and find that routine is really important. And it's funny because I do some work with my other business, and I'm a writer. I'm quite interested in psychology and cognitive behavioural therapy. Just did a little live the other day there with a therapist from Piece by Piece, and it was so interesting because we talked a bit about this. And even for our mental health, I think it's so important to be able to have that routine. Like, I hear a lot of people working in social media, and I've experienced it myself, not being able to sleep has at times, or not having the best sleeping patterns. And so I think if you could set your alarm and put in a routine, whether that's to get up in the morning or even to go to bed, it can help, because I know how it can get when we're home and we feel overwhelmed and there's different things that come at us and information that we're dealing with. You can get this thing called, but a psychologist called brain fog. And so maybe just being a bit more structured is this point about setting an alarm, getting into a routine, deciding, okay, I'm going to get up at this time, I'm going to go to bed at this time, and just it helps take care of our mental health, if anything else. Point number 3, take regular breaks. Now, I know how easy it is working from home to either get distracted. You either get distracted or you get so caught up in what you're doing that you lose track of time. And so I just want to encourage those of us who are workaholics, or who like to work, and who are, it's badly phrased, but those of us who are get caught up in working and just can't forget and lose track of time. There is such a thing as work-home burnout, and so I really would encourage you to make sure you stop and take breaks. And I'm still working to practice this part myself, but get out for exercise at home. But anyway, make sure you stop for breaks. When that clock finishes, you've got to stop, because I think everyone's dealing with this so differently, and we have people who are working in different hours, and then there's like a kind of domino effect sometimes when people are working at weekends when they don't need to be, but maybe they're trying to distract themselves, and then we all get caught up in this unhealthy cycle. So I think it's really important to put boundaries in place, take regular breaks, and I really believe that when you put that in place, you will see your day and your energy and your time become more effective. You'll be amazed at how much you can do. Yesterday I had a crazy day when I was able to achieve way more than I anticipated, just by setting some boundaries and getting in place, okay, this is what I'm going to do then. And it really does help when you say, I'm going to stop and take a break. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Isn't it crazy that you can have hay fever at home? Oh my gosh. So number 4, plan and prepare. Make sure that you are putting in some time to plan. I recently took a class this week on improving this area, because I think we should all be improving. We've all got to keep learning and growing in our strengths and our weaknesses. And so I think I've really become more appreciative of the importance of planning and putting time in your diary to sit down and plan things out. Make sure you prepare. So if you need to prepare the night before for work, I would highly recommend looking at where you can automate things. So if you are working Monday to Friday, can you look at what your meals are on the Sunday night? Can you look at getting what kind of things do you need to be able to really set you up for a win? I know that if I don't, for example, this sounds really strange, but if I don't empty or fill the dishwasher before I leave for the evening and go to bed, I find it quite stressful in the morning getting up if I can't just come and get my coffee, because there's dishes and things around the sink that need to be dealt with. And so that can put a stumbling block in my day and actually tumble into determining how effective I will be at home. So these kind of things, planning, automating, preparing the night before. I know I've got a friend who prepares her clothes every night before she goes to bed. So maybe that's something you can do. Even being at home, getting dressed. I know that's sometimes less enticing if we're just at home and we're social distancing, but actually getting dressed will help you mentally be prepared and get ready for a day to be effective. So make sure you plan and prepare the night before, plan and prepare the week before, however that looks for you. And maybe take 30 minutes. I heard a really good piece of advice from a leader just recently, and he suggested at the end of the day, taking 30 minutes in your working day, to review what you've done that day, see if there's anything you missed or anything you need to pick up tomorrow, and then take that next 30 minutes and lay out your action points for the next day so that you are having time to reflect and review and plan to prepare for moving forward. I think there is so much in that to take and help us become more effective, and so I hope you're finding this useful. Number 5, check in on colleagues. I think it's important for us to remember that when we're dealing with people are people, and sometimes hurt people, and so even in a work environment, if we're getting stressed and we're typing away and some things are happening all around us, I just wanted to remind us to be gentle with each other and check in on our colleagues, to remember that we're in a pressure cooker in a lot of ways, and so people react differently. And I think that's important, because if we start to allow ourselves to be affected by other people's response to us or by situations external, then it will impact on how effective we are in that day. And we don't want to get a little kind of misunderstanding, miscommunication, or a difficult moment take us away from being effective in that day. So I guess it's being empathetic towards our colleagues and being mindful that, when you have an email that exchange words and you misinterpret it or you interpret it in a certain way, then maybe being mindful of these things will help us to stop us from tripping up over those kind of small things and letting that ruin our day. And believe me, it can. So yeah, check in on your colleagues. Kindness wins. Kindness is always a good idea. So make sure you check in with your colleagues, and be kind to yourself, which is point 6. Number 7, down tools. Make sure that you put your tools down at the end of the day, and try and not. That's why it's good to have that 30 minutes to review, 30 minutes to reflect and plan for the next day. Try and put your computers down in another room. Take that space to switch off. It's something I'm really working on myself, and I'm finding that the best days and the most effective days I have are when I put time boundaries in place. You will be surprised how much you get done when you have just a small amount of time, and so I hope that helps you today to stay effective. I can't wait to come on again and share more things. Yesterday I launched my how to use social media for business course on Eventbrite, and I'm really excited to be delivering that over the next few weeks. So if you are interested, make sure you jump over and check on check on Facebook, check on the website, Eventbrite. I'm really excited to be able to help businesses and entrepreneurs and creative content creators take that social media message to the next level. So yeah, I hope you found that helpful today. I hope you have an effective day and an effective weekend. Make sure you take time to rest. It's so important. Rest and recover. And I will speak to you all very soon. Let me know what you think, what your feedback is. If there's any particular videos, maybe more towards even social media, what you would like me to cover. I think next week I'm going to jump on and talk about tips for Facebook, so make sure you check that out if you're interested. I will post it, of course, on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, so I'll be going live. So any questions you have around Facebook, give me a shout, and yeah, have a fab Friday. Alright, thanks guys for watching. I will speak to you all very soon.